I really got it. Ain't no secret to it. If I did it, then I had to do it. She really good. She really got it. I had to do it. I really got it. Ain't no secret to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's start.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports and another exciting edition of NBA basketball. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. And on the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. We're at the home of the Grizzlies, the FedEx Forum in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. And, of course, Michael Conley. Team moving on here without him.
And it's a trade that it caught me a little off guard. I have to be honest, Kevin. He played such a big part for this team. And really the last guy I expected to see them move.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Inside, it's the veterans, Aldridge and Gasol. DeRozan and Gay, the wings. And it's Murray in at the one. Steve, how about just getting along? I mean, obviously you want to win and play well, but what about teammates just getting along?
You know, Kevin, I love it because I think there's an expectation if you don't get along, you can't win. There are some teams you can see these two guys don't like each other, and they still win. But then the teams that it's sustained for a long time, it's the teammates that get along. What you want to do is set, goals that's realistic. And if you can do that and obtain that, then you have pretty much a good team.
Here's Murray following the basket by Marc Gasol. Murray right side to the inside. Here's Aldridge. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. And for the Grizzlies, they come in off a good outing against New Orleans. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
The Spurs have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Murray kicks to Aldridge. Tips it.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. AI outside. A baseline J. And there's Gasol. That's good on the assist by AI. AI's got 3 assists tonight. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Down low, stolen by Brooks. Inside, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. DeRozan surveying the D. Pass to Aldridge. Over Griffin. That one off the back iron and out.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Pass to Harrison. AI outside. He dishes it to Griffin. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge.
I like the aggressive move on the layup attempt, but the defender, he just stayed right with him.
Here's Murray. No good that time. And it's Memphis the other way. And there's the feed to Griffin. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
This is where Blake does most of his damage. Just get him the rock inside the paint.
Murray kicks to Gasol. Here's DeRozan. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Only the first quarter. Guys are getting in a groove, but communication on the defense has to be better.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against San Antonio.
You have to love what Arkansas gives you offensively. Can score facing up, back to the basket, and one of the best passing centers in the game.
And talking about Gasol, also an impact guy on the defensive end of the floor.
Yes, Kevin, he has the size, the length, and the instincts. Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. A true cornerstone for your team.
And so here's Memphis, following the bucket by the Spurs. Now the pass to Reyes, trying to find Brooks. He's got it now. Banked in off the glass. Brooks has got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here's Murray. Last time 14 points for him. Aldridge, no luck.
You know, a little off his game this quarter. Still trying to find a rhythm, though.
Out to AI. No good from outside.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
You know, there's no shame in passing out in that situation. Leave your ego at the door.
Now here's Gay. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Pistons in Detroit.
And don't forget about the work he did on the boards. His rebounding was a huge help in that game.
Last game for the Spurs. They pick up the W against the Detroit Pistons. Gasol passes to Reyes. To the paint. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. AI's got his first basket.
And you knew with the rise to stardom that AI has enjoyed, shoe companies would come knocking. It was just announced he will partner up with Jordan to promote their line.
And from what I heard, Greg, AI had several suitors come to him with shoe offers. All in all, just another big step for one of the better stories in the NBA. And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Jackson, he's checked in for Griffin. Caspi comes in for Dylan Brooks. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Andrew Harrison. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Davis Bertans checks in for Gasol. Bellinelli comes in for Rudy Gay. Walker's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Mills in for Murray. Now here's Mills. He's guarded closely. Passes to Bertans. 6 to shoot. Launches it. That shot off the mark. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. AI kicks to Jackson. Pass to Temple. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here is Caspi. Pass to AI. There's the dish to Gasol. Back to AI. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Well, Steve, to play in the NBA, you need to be in peak shape. Talk about your diet and workout regimen back when you were in the game.
I will give myself an A+ for workout regimen back in the day, Kevin.
Wow.
And then that diet part, I would say C-.
That was a D.
Yeah, you got it right. I would say a D. I try to give myself a little credit and say C-. I would say I love to see right now the cross workouts right now with guys doing Pilates, yoga, swimming. They're trying different things.
Here's AI following the bucket by the Spurs. Lets it go with the 3. Knocks down the 3-ball. AI's got 8.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Spurs trail by 8. 50 seconds left in the first. Here's Aldridge. Rebounded by Jackson.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
It's stolen by Bellinelli. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Jackson from long range. The shot that time, not on target. Last game for the Spurs. They picked up the W against the Pistons in Detroit. 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now here's Walker. He's guarded by AI. 4 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, that one no good. And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. Back to the action after this word. The NBA game drawing fans from every culture. And
I always notice the fans that support us and make us feel, pretty much since I got to the NBA, all the Latinos.
The game going global, and no better ambassador than Pau Gasol.
And as the players grow more international, fans from every country and continent, for that matter, finding more and more reason to root for the NBA.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And looking at what we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you guys think?
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moments in that first quarter.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. On the court right now for the Spurs, they've got Bellinelli, Mills out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Forbes in at the 2. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Pelicans was all business. He scored 26 points and also added 5 rebounds to round out his scoring figures. He was great in every facet of the game. Afterward, his coach couldn't stop praising the effort. Kevin, we'll see if he maintains that inspiration tonight.
Thanks, David, for another reminder of just what an unbelievable performance that was.
One that everyone's still talking about tonight. He dominated that game in just about every way possible.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what he's got in store for us tonight. Maybe he tops himself again. I think he just might do it.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. They beat the Spurs during their last encounter in San Antonio.
And talk about a battle that just kept going on. It really is a good feeling bringing home a double overtime win.
JaMychal Green, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Andrew Harrison comes in for Garrett Temple. Pau Gasol, he's checked in for the Spurs. Down low, here's Harrison. 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Here's Mills. His last outing, he had 8 points. He kicks it to Bellinelli. Back to Mills. Bertans inside the line. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And Green gets it to go.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And for the Spurs, they're still finding ways to improve the roster, but you can never really replace a Tim Duncan.
Forbes can't get it to go.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
But what about the athletic ability of Green? A real powerhouse who just knows how to bring the hammer down.
And it's Mills with the ball for San Antonio, trailing by 13. Kicks it to Bellinelli. Back to Mills. Now the pass to Bellinelli. 5 to shoot. Over Caspi. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Passes it to Harrison. To the middle. Here's Reyes. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now. 6 for 8 on the night.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Now here's Bellinelli. Defense is right there. Pass to Mills. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Here's Bertans. Misses off the left iron. Last outing for Memphis. They won that game against the Pelicans in New Orleans. And it's AI missing.
He's a little uncomfortable in that in-between area, and the defense plays him that way.
To stop the drought, count it, good. Forbes has got his first points of the night. Now a timeout called by Memphis. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Pachulia, he's checked in for Alex Len. Griffin comes in for Green, and it's Dylan Brooks in for Casper. Spurs trail by 13. Murray outside. Here's DeRozan. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Stolen by Walker. Gasol dishes to Murray. Gay kicks to Gasol. Murray outside. Inside. Here's DeRozan. The rebound by Reyes.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
To the inside. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
DeRozan gets the bucket.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Well, last season, DeMar DeRozan, one of the handful of NBA players, Steve, who bravely spoke out about mental health and how it impacts them personally.
Yeah, had a great column in which he talked about his depression and anxiety. Never easy for a star athlete or anyone to be so frank about that kind of subject. Takes a lot of courage to do that, and DeRozan was rightfully applauded for his honesty.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge and the Spurs got through some tension in their relationship early on. Now, Greg Popovich said, it became apparent that it really was me. He'd been in the league for 9 years. I'm not going to turn him into some other player. That was just silly. So we took care of it, and he's been fantastic. Guys?
That's why Pop is the best in the business, DA. He's always going to figure it out. Thanks. And a wide open look for AI. And that one off the back of the rim and in. AI's got 22.
Great look by Blake Griffin. When your foreman has that ability to pass the basketball, it's a major advantage.
Feeds it to DeRozan. Over Brooks. DeRozan can't get that one to fall. And the Grizzlies leading by 17. Brooks, the pass to Reyes. The three-pointer is right on target. 25 points in the game.
See, this is how you dictate the flow of the game. He's been lit this quarter.
Pass to Walker. He kicks it to DeRozan. Over Brooks. Gasol. And Gasol able to finish. Gasol's got his first bucket of the night.
Easy bucket for Powell. Failed to block him out. He'll hover around the offensive boards all day.
The 15-footer. They grab their own miss. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for a dominating first half of basketball. And so far, hasn't been close. It's the...
Thank you, Kevin. Big first half in points and assists. How are you able to make such an impact?
Well, I got to say my teammates have done a great job with their movement. You know, cutting, getting open. They made it easy for me to get them open shots. And when the other guys out there playing with this much energy, you know, the D gets stretched in and I get a lot of good looks myself.
Great to see 5 guys helping out and 1 guy taking advantage. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Really an incredible game from AI.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Defensively coming in, you know he's going to be tough to stop, but I'm still waiting to see a plan to even contain him.
Griffin is out there with Marc Gasol. Then it's AI. Then it's Brooks. And it's Harrison in at the one spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. I know, Steve, when you were an amateur basketball player, some people had suggested they're not teaching enough skill. Now that same refrain is heard. But then you see young players like Jason Tatum, Dennis Smith Jr. What's your opinion now?
You know, I think people look at these players individually, and I think these young guys coming up in youth basketball, the individual player that plays better gets the 4-star to 5-star. So a lot of these guys want to be that player. We don't put enough emphasis on team basketball. So whereas you're just as important as the best guy, and I think if we can change that narrative, you will see that. But skill-wise, I think we're okay for our skills with guys with the basketball. I think now we got to have guys understanding how to play without it in their hands.
Here's DeRozan after the made shot from Reyes. Here's Aldridge. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
A 5-star recruit out of high school, Aldridge reportedly asked Shaq for advice about jumping to the NBA. Shaq told him to go to college. A couple years later, Aldridge is drafted the number 2 pick overall.
Brooks with it. Gay picks him up defensively. And they call an illegal screen here. And powering into the first week of the new year, here's a brand new look at the power rankings. You look at San Antonio. They've been passed up, moving down to the 4th spot.
And checking out the Grizzlies, they've used the doubters as fuel for this season's strong showing. Night after night, each guy plays with that proverbial chip on his shoulder.
Gasol finds Gay. Now here's Murray. He's tightly guarded. He had a nice open look right there. Gay's got his first 2 points. And regarding Aldridge, given his success at Texas, sounds like Shaq was right.
Aldridge just needed to develop strength, polish his skills. Hard to say where he would have been drafted right out of high school, but after 2 years of college, he went second.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Now, here's DeRozan. 12 points for him. 4 on the clock. Fade away. Another one falls for San Antonio.
He's on a roll. Can't let DeRozan get into rhythm. He will torch you all night.
There's the feed to AI. Lays it up and banks it in. AI's got 4 this quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Murray kicks to DeRozan over Brooks. DeRozan's shot is off.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Griffin passes to Reyes. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Griffin's got 4 assists in the game.
Man, he's been on point, not forcing things, getting the most of his looks within the flow.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Blake Griffin has made significant improvement as a shooter over the years. He's been working with his shooting coach. He's rewired his shooting form.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Alex Len's checked in for Gasol. JaMychal Green comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Caspian for Harrison. The Spurs also changing it up. Davis Bertans checks in for Gasol. Bellinelli comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Mills in for Murray. Now, here's DeRozan. 14 points for him. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Steve, you talk about Griffin changing his shooting form. How is it different now than when he started?
Well, he releases it now on the way up, jumping straight up and down. A higher release gets more arc on the ball. Making a new motion feel normal takes a tremendous amount of work and repetition. You look at the way DeRozan has improved since entering the league. Vastly different player. came in mostly as a driver and a dunker, has become a complete shooting guard, and he's a fantastic leader on the offensive end as well.
Here's Reyes. And the three off target.
Not in rhythm. He had the 2 triples in the first half, none so far in the second.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
The Spurs have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Now here's Green. Down low. Here's Reyes. That's tipped. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Kicks it to Bellinelli. Back to Mills. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Mills has got 4 points this quarter. Steve, with DeRozan, you can see the changes and improvements in his game year to year.
Yes, his passing is the most recent skill that he worked on. His rebounding and defense also have seen significant improvement over his career. He's one of the top shooting guards in this league.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The pass to Mills. Rejected by Len. Jackson kicks to AI. Green takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. Green's got 6.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Now here's Bellinelli. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Mills looking it over. A 3-ball. And that's good. Marco Bellinelli for 3. He has 5.
Perfect vision. Mills getting quicker these days at spotting the open man.
AI right side. Moves back up. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Let's now pause to take a look at the scoring breakdown between the front and back court of tonight's contests for the Grizzlies.
And we can see pretty even there between the guards and the bigs. That kind of balanced production has what's helped them craft this huge lead.
And he can't get the first one. And Steve, the way JaMychal Green got him, a terrific story.
Went undrafted, Kevin, did the G League thing, bounced around, but then he started to put it all together. Now he's a guy you can count on to give you good minutes.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Pachulia, he's checked in for Len, and Brooks subbed in for Garrett Temple. Here's Reyes. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. And that's now 35 points for AI.
He's in control when it matters, giving them a tremendous advantage right here.
Now here's Mills. Brooks covering. And here's Mills. He's got 7. Lets it go with a 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Green's got 4 rebounds in this game. AI dishes to Jackson. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Andrew Harrison's checked in for the Grizzlies. The Spurs also changing it up. Gay comes in for Davis Bertans. And it's Bryn Forbes in for Patty Mills. Walker finds Bellinelli. Back to Walker. From deep. The shot, no good. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them.
And there's the experience of Pachulia, catching the defender off balance.
The Grizzlies have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight. Passes it to Harrison. AI kicks to Gasol. Over Aldridge. Pulled the shot a little up, but the bounce goes his way. 11 points for Marc Gasol.
That's a high percentage look for Marc Gasol. He loves to face up and knock it down.
On the court for San Antonio, Murray and DeRozan in the backcourt together. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's Bertinason at the power forward position. Harrison passes to Reyes. Shoots over DeRozan. AI can't hit. San Antonio's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. And here's Brooks. He'll bring it up for Memphis. Here's Harrison. They get it back.
Quick off the floor for these offensive rebounds. Green 7'2" wingspan. It helps him snatch them.
Spurs have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. And DeRozan kicks to Murray. Well, the NBA has had 3 referee crews for quite a while. Steve, do you think adding a 4th ref would help in any way?
No, I think it'll get a little bit crowded on the floor. I would love to see, I know they won't go back, I love the 2 referee situation. I look at it right now, referee A calls a call, referee B calls a call. It just feels like referee C has to make the next call or get up far as even with the other referees. I would love to see them go back to a 2-referee situation.
Here's AI following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Bellinelli against Brooks. Pass to Murray. He kicks it to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And DeRozan with the basket on the assist by Bellinelli. And that's now 27 points for DeMar DeRozan. Memphis leading by 21. Pass to Green. Back to AI. Banked in off the glass. AI's got 39.
Amazing how he gets this one to go. Size doesn't matter.
But it can in the painted area. Regardless, he's crafty enough to get up a good shot.
Now here is Aldridge. Four on the shot clock. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Grizzlies.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance from AI.
When we look back and we think about key takeaways from tonight's game, his leadership really stands out. Controlling the pace, keeping everyone involved, and he made this offense sing.
And just putting the finishing touches on this one, they have been on fire.
I mean, a fantastic run. The guys are really clicking, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Now here's Murray. 14 feet away, and he overshot that one, missing. On the wing, Brooks. AI outside. Bobbed up there for Green. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. The shot, no good. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Here's Reyes. It's rebounded by Aldridge. And here comes Bellinelli leading the fast break. Kicks to Murray. Rejected by Gasol.
Love how Gasol patrols the court, always on the lookout to reject a shot.
So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying...
I'm pretty sure this one's going on my highlight reel, guys. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Great game, guys. AI, you got a second?
Yeah, what's up, Charlie?
Guys in the studio have a few questions for you.
All right.
Media alcove right this way.
Thank you.
This is Shaq. Another double-double for you tonight. Made it look easy, buddy. How are you able to control things on the offensive end with this level of consistency?
Well, a lot of what makes me look good is the system that we play in. You know, I don't really have to overthink possessions. I know my guys are going to be screening and cutting, and as long as we make the same reads, all I got to do is deliver the pass on time, and they take care of the rest. It's a really easy team to play on.
You keep playing like that, buddy, you're going to win many championships. Good luck to you, son.
That's the plan. Here you go.